Oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 oi. Hello, friend. It is I, not the Tomatiño. And I'm drinking the blood of Señor Õrange. Because Señor Tomat is life. Got a lot of fun stuff to look at today. Don't know why I'm wearing my shades. Don't know why. Oh, so many fun, insane things to look at. Oh my god, I'm still in like search mode on a lot of this shit. Gotta let some of this just go away. Put all that in the corner. No, I'll probably put that up here. That there. Zing. I don't need that. I'll probably do that first. No, leave that there. Leave that. No. Actually, I think I'll put these two near that. So we do a bunch of news. We'll take a little break from the news while we're not gone. Because I'm just going to move the stream elsewhere for a little bit. Then we'll come back and do like a different segment, essentially. So this stream will be kind of split into two parts in a basic sense. As I drink the blood of Señor Õrange. I learned the error of my ways. I asked TJ himself. Tomatiño TJ. Can there ever be compromise on this discourse on the Señor Tomat and Señor Õrange? Couldn't he just be a mere apostle? And no, he could not, because he was the devil. He is the devil. Señor Tomat is basically like Gord, and you can, and Señor Õrange is like the devil. I don't know. I was about to call him Gord as well. That was not going to be true. But, yeah. So, I'm just like, damn, I know the error of my ways now. So, I better just change my position on that really quick then. And I did. Because I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to anger Señor Tomat. Actually, there's something funny I would like to spread with the love of Señor Tomat. If I could find it. Oh god, that picture of that orange. I discovered that orange. The thumbnail is an orange I found that was starting to not be good, obviously. And I'm just like, I need to send this to Paul and TJ and say, this is Señor Õrange and this is what I think of him. I make him rot. But I haven't sent it to him yet because I want to do something else with it. But in the meantime, I'm going to be using it for that. Oh, not. Oh, I forgot to turn on the TV and switch my setup around. I am fucking retarded.
Naughty little tomatinos.
Oh god.
Naughty, naughty, naughty. You have no excuse. You have no. Oh.
Okay, we're not getting deep into that, but basically, there's a luau going on, and Señor Tomat was just being. He was beating on some Tomatiños who were being disrespectful to the mighty Tomat. This is what we get. This is what will happen if I disrespect Señor Tomat.
Naughty little tomatinos. Naughty. You have no excuse. You have no. Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to be the victim of Señor Tomat beating me. I don't need a vicious beating. Thank you. So, yeah, that's all we needed from Señor Tomat. After that, he's shilling the great Pessimist Productions, because I am a great patron to Pessimist Productions, because I just love their content in every viable way possible. I'm actually going to see what updates there may or may not be, because I know they've been doing minute changes. Nothing has changed besides what happened last time. Fuck you guys. You have not given me a juicy buffet. There is no juicy buffet for me. No, 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 no. I'm just kidding. I am diluting into some shit that means nothing. And now we're going to talk about space. Space. Because that's one of my favorite things to talk about. And this is on Titan, because it has an unusual atmosphere, and it may, I've mentioned before how it may also plausibly hold life. So I don't know too much about Titan, so we're going to learn! We're going to learn! Because astronomy is awesome, and, you know, why not learn about the wonders of a beautiful moon that orbits Saturn. I haven't seen Saturn yet. I would love to see Saturn, though. That would be really cool to see for the telescope. If I ever get a chance, like, I think even if it's like a 2-minute stream like I did with bashing some rims, like, I don't give a shit. I just to show off Saturn, maybe to see if I can get the rings within view and stuff like that, that'd be cool. Because Saturn's big. That's a big planet. So, yeah.
Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and in today's video I wanted to talk about this beautiful object you see in front of you called Titan. This is one of the coolest moons in our solar system, the moon of Saturn that actually possesses very thick atmosphere and in some sense might be a very interesting world to explore and potentially might even have a very unusual type of life on the surface. Let's talk about this and specifically about its atmosphere, and welcome to What the Math.
What the math? Okay. Thank you, Anton Petrov, I think? Anton Petrov? Is that what your name is? Yeah, Petrov. Yeah. Thank you for your What the Math segments. You might as well just put that in your title description. I mean, you do that for practically every video. I mean, it's not that I give a fuck, but I mean, I don't know. It just seemed a little bit more obvious that that's the segment you're doing. It's like, What the Math? Those seems more like, I don't know. I'm going on a tangent over the name of his little thing going on, like What the Math. It's like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I'm trying to give juicy content to my fellow Tomatiños. And I can't even freaking do it without just getting into some random irrelevant thing.
Quite a lot of times before, and I've even shown you the very famous video of the landing of the Huygens probe onto the surface of Titan, which I'm going to show you right now as well. And this is kind of what you see here.
I was going to sneeze.
The Huygens probe landing onto Saturn, having separated from the Cassini probe. And here you can kind of see the altitude, the speed, and also, of course, the video footage that it took as it was landing onto the surface.
Was that the screen? Oh my
and
god.
As it basically approached the surface, it started to transmit quite a lot.
I had a screen in my bowl and it like eviscerated into like nothingness. Holy shit, dude. Wow, that was a terrible screen. Worst screen of 2018. It's like they become flimsy little disintegrating flops. It's like, shouldn't they just be metal? Little metal grate so we can like, I don't know, not have it disintegrate or something. Like, come on. I'm sure there's a way you can like safely do screens without having unfortunate destruction of the screen. I mean, that's going to happen no matter what eventually due to resin buildup and stuff like that, but I mean, you can make it last longer than like 24 hours. Like, come on, dude.
Data that eventually was sent back to Earth. Now, the interesting thing about this particular mission is that we didn't really expect to find such a thick atmosphere, and we also didn't expect to find such an unusual surface, specifically surface that was very Earth-like in a sense, with one little difference. And you'll see this difference in a few seconds as we basically come closer and closer to the surface. So let's accelerate this just a little bit so it's a little bit faster. The surface here, even though it does look rocky, is actually basically water ice. Specifically, it's essentially very hard ice that has been here for possibly millions or even billions of years. And ice here is kind of, or acts kind of similarly to how rock acts on the surface of our own planet. And basically, ice itself is essentially the hard stuff.
Yeah, I'll bring you guys to check it out.
And ethane. And in case of that, this is actually what makes it so unusual and what creates a very unusual atmosphere here. So this is kind of what the surface looks like. So let's pause it right before we land right around here. And you can kind of see just a few formations here that are basically rocky, which is of course made of water ice.
I mean, that's kind of a really poor picture too. So I mean, it seems like he'll go into more explanation.
You can kind of even see the shadow of the parachute and of course the actual rocks, which once again are made of water ice. Now, just to show you a structure of this moon, this is kind of what it looks like if you were to cut it open. There is a somewhat rocky but also somewhat watery core containing mostly ice mixed with a lot of different rocks.
Huh.
There's a type of water ice right here on the surface that's known as ice 6. Then there's a very interesting liquid ocean, followed by what seems to be surface. And this surface is made up of normal ice, basically normal water ice that we have on Earth too. But because it's so cold here and because it's basically really dry, this ice is super, super hard. It's probably a lot harder than the ice we have on Earth.
Huh. That's pretty interesting. So, Titan in a lot of ways is just essentially just like a water moon, which is pretty cool.
But there's also a lot of atmosphere, as you can see. And this is what we're going to be talking about in a little bit more detail right now. Oh, and by the way, if you were to actually extract all of the liquid from Titan, this is how big the actual ball would be. So the...
Oh, well, hey, check this out. So, essentially... Oh, whoops, forgot to click. Come on. There we go. So, if you were essentially to extract all the water, that's how big the ball will be compared to Titan. And that's how much ice would have been extracted to Titan itself. So, it's a very, very water-based moon. That's pretty cool, though. That's really awesome. I like that. Which is promising when it comes to... Whoops. Well, that was very off. Very off. And that's really... what was I just about to say? And that's really promising for plausible life that may exist elsewhere in the universe, and especially in our own solar system, considering that Europa is very promising as well. For Jupiter's moon. I don't know why it took me a while to find moon in my vocabulary there. But it did. It did. I could not find that word in my vocab. I'm going to stop that.
The ice itself is tremendously large in there, and also
water is
way more than the amount of water on Earth. So Titan is basically a water moon. Now, so if I were to start entering Titan's atmosphere, which is actually a lot higher than Earth's atmosphere, mostly because Titan doesn't have as much gravity, so the atmosphere kind of proofs out at a much larger distance, or in other words, it starts a lot earlier than the atmosphere of Earth, you would actually start experiencing a lot of interesting things. First of all, the temperature will actually start increasing quite a lot, up to about minus 100 degrees Celsius.
Holy shit.
I guess a really good comparison of Earth and Titan.
So I guess the freeze temp, the coldest temperature is like negative 100 degrees Celsius. That's cold as fuck, dude.
Titan atmosphere is this picture right here.
That's like twice as cold as freezing temperature here on Earth.
Here at 600 kilometers, and the temperature here is already at around 160 Kelvin, which is 160 degrees above absolute zero. And it's mostly made out of nitrogen, methane, and possibly argon, which is kind of similar to what we have on Earth, but of course Earth also has oxygen. And this, as you can see, is much, much, much higher up in the atmosphere than it is on Earth. Once again, because Earth's gravity is much stronger, so it actually pulls down on the atmosphere, making it significantly lower in terms of the actual altitude. What is interesting here is that while Earth actually has this really interesting ozone layer, which we're all familiar with, that's formed by the UV light striking oxygen in the upper atmosphere, that then becomes O3, which is ozone, and that actually protects our planet from a lot of dangerous ultraviolet radiation. Titan has something similar, but it's made from methane, and it's this thin haze layer, and we can actually even see it in Space Engine.
Huh.
Right here, this really interesting layer that's kind of right below this thin...
So, he's been pulling up this chart here of what the Earth and Titan's like atmosphere is basically made out of. So, obviously, the atmospheres go far more complex than this. I mean, because there's multiple different spheres in our atmosphere. It's like the stratosphere, the lithosphere, whoops, and all that shit. So, I mean, you got that going on there. And they have a similar thing on Titan. Only theirs is like a very thick, hazy layer of what's possibly methane, I think, what he was mentioning.
Haze layer, and we can actually even see it in Space Engine.
Here, let me go.
Titan has something similar, but it's made from methane, and it's this thin...
Okay, yeah, so it was made of methane, so, yeah. So, Titan obviously is not oxygen-based, it's nitrogen-methane-based, and plausibly argon-based as well. That'd be cool. And we haven't really seen life really taking effect with without oxygen, unless it's like plant life. So it'd be really interesting to see what type of life may be plausible with within Titan. Which I guess, I mean, that's not really true, because there's also bacteria and other different things that don't require oxygen specifically to survive. So it'll be interesting to see what type of life, if there is any, on Titan. And Europa too.
Haze layer, and we can actually even see it in Space Engine. Right here, this layer that you can see right here actually cools down the planet by approximately 10 degrees Celsius.
Oh.
Then there is this other layer, which is full of different chemicals that create different colors. And all of this stuff actually produces a lot of really interesting materials, including this very unusual particulate rain, which basically is kind of like dust rain, or basically rain that contains soot and black particles, so not really liquid. The temperature here actually does decrease quite a lot. And if you actually look at the graph from Wikipedia, this is what the temperature graph looks like. It's relatively warm in the upper atmosphere, so it's about minus 100 degrees Celsius. Then it drops quite dramatically to
Let's check it
something like 70 degrees Kelvin, which is about minus 200 degrees Celsius. And then you can kind of start getting clouds here. It starts warming up again. So the actual temperature fluctuations in the atmosphere of Titan are very different from Earth.
Come on.
On Earth, the temperature basically starts warm and then it becomes cold. It's more of a straight line, whereas here it's a very unusual curve. And we also get these clouds, which are methane and nitrogen clouds. We also get a lot of really interesting methane rain and ethane rain, which creates lakes and rivers and a lot of really unusual activity that is familiar to us, but is made up of completely different materials, which are basically same materials that we often use on Earth to produce fuel. So basically, if we were to go on Titan right now and collect all of this, this would be a tremendous amount of gas, petroleum, and of course oil materials. But from this graph, as you can see...
So, exploitation, yay. One thing I'm definitely not excited about when it comes to space exploration is how companies and other private entities may exploit a lot of the gains of space exploration for just harvesting the resources of these planets. I mean, that will definitely be a pretty negative aspect that could possibly happen because we do it here on Earth. It won't surprise me if we do it elsewhere, if we start spreading. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm still very, get very positive feels with it, but yeah, definitely take in the negative aspect for it. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
At an altitude of about 40 kilometers, that's actually the coldest point off Titan, and at altitude of about 140 kilometers, it's pretty warm down up there. It's a lot warmer than it is on the surface. So the surface itself is usually around 94 to 98 degrees Kelvin. Sometimes warmer, sometimes colder, and Titan does have seasons as well, so it actually does change depending on Saturn, of course. So wherever Saturn is located in regards to its orbit around the Sun, there's Saturn in the back there, this determines the temperature and, of course, the various climatic conditions on Titan. So there is actually climate here. One day, however, lasts quite long. A single day on Titan is close to about 16 Earth days, and a single year is close to...
Holy shit, so one full day on Titan is 16 days on Earth. Holy crap.
About 30 Earth years.
And it's one full year on Titan is 30 Earth years. So, damn. That's a long time. I mean, obviously the perspective of time is actually more relative towards like how far the distance is, but when you consider that that's just how slow its orbit is. I mean, you can imagine how maybe trying to set a colony here would be very, not unusual for colonizing, but just unusual for the inhabitants who happen to be there then. Because Mars is a little different, for example, that its orbit is somewhat similar to ours. Not like totally, but relatively. So I think like a full Mars day is only like 30 hours or 26 or 28 hours. I'm not 100% too sure. Don't quote me on it, but I don't know.
The seasons here are much, much longer and more dramatic as well. And various hemispheres and also various parts of Titan receive different conditions based on its location around Saturn, or its location around the Sun, and so on and so forth. And we've established all of this by basically looking at the lakes on the surface of this beautiful moon, which might be visible So let's see if we
This
land.
beautiful moon.
Let's see if
This
we find
beautiful,
it.
tremendous,
Alright, so this is kind of what
glorious,
this might look like if it's
greatest
really low
moon.
flood, I guess. And I don't know if I'll be able to find any lakes this way. Probably not, actually. But the lake size basically determines if there's rain going on, if there's a lot of various geological activity, and helps us understand the climates on this moon.
What the fuck?
And what's really interesting is that based on the size of these lakes, we can often estimate the amount of rainfall. And for this reason, many scientists actually refer to Titan as a tropical moon. It's
Huh. I mean, Titan's a very interesting little planet. So that is pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, on to some more news and stuff. So, this next one is basically Trump filling air with nonsense. I pulled this from Secular Talk. So, I didn't want to go out of my way to find this specifically because he had the clip, so I'm just like, whatever, I'm talking about the clip itself, so here we go.
Underlying substance. He's just babbling incoherently.
Okay, I'm going to actually show and pull on the screen because we have an unfortunate sad child that really depresses me in the background. I want to know if you can find him.
We're reasserting American strength and confidence and talent. We have tremendous talent in this country. Tremendous talent in this room.
Oh, God. Did you see that? Oh, I'm going to play it back one more time.
We have tremendous talent in this country. Tremendous talent in this room.
Can you provide a couple examples of what this talent is and what type of talent? Is it the talent to be a really good musician? Is it a talent to be a good writer? Is it a talent to be a really, really good, like, mechanic or something? Because those are all talents and stuff. So what talents you talking about here, man? The talent for this kid to be a goof, doing like that, doing this fucking sign, you know, taking this 15 little minutes of fame, being a little Ben Shapiro lookalike clone.
That big room, this stadium, this arena.
What the fuck is he doing?
Talent, and our talent and our strength is being respected again.
What? Okay, 2 points. Our talent is being respected again. Again, name these talents, bitch. What does that even mean? And our strength is being respected again. Okay, well, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so are you admitting that you want to be the world police that we're meant to be bowed down and respected to, and if you disrespect our authority, we're going to crack down on you with our strength? Yeah. How about no on that? Just, we don't need to be the world police. We don't need to continue going into endless wars and shit. So fuck off of that warmongering type of nonsense.
Prosperity is booming.
Prosperity is not booming, by the way. There's still homeless people in this country.
Optimism is surging. And
Wait, what did he say there? Because he slurred it.
prosperity is booming. Optimism is surging.
Optimism, huh? Well, that's subjective, by the way. So, yeah, what optimism is surging? Is it the grassroots progressive optimism to try to get change in this country and to vote you out in 2020 optimism? Because that's definitely surging, too, in a lot of cases. Is the MAGA people, you know, is optimism surging because you just happen to be president and everything you say is fucking gold to them, including this bullshit? Yeah, I'm sure that's surging too. Like, this is just nonsense, dude. You're speaking nonsense. You're the fucking president. You should be talking about policies and, like, what you're doing instead of, we're being fucking great and respected tremendously. It is bigly. We got our talent is being respected. Our strength is being respected. Optimism surging. Believe me, it's just great. It's just the greatest thing. We are the bestest around. Believe me. Tremendous. Tremendous. Fuck off, dude.
And America is winning. We're winning.
Yeah, and maybe obesity rates. What are we winning on, specifically? We've been kind of not winning on, the fucking terrorism front, because that seems to just get worse every year. Maybe besides recently, because ISIS has been, for the most part, been defeated. But that's still been a major problem. We have been winning in Afghanistan. Definitely haven't been winning in Iraq or Syria or whatever the fuck. We're not, no. And our infrastructure gets a grade D+. We're not winning on that front. 30,000 to 45,000 people die every year of healthcare. You're not winning on that front. So, shut the fuck up that we're winning. We're not.
We truly are making America great again. Look at all...
No, we're not.
All those hats.
Look at all those hats. Look at all those beautiful red hats. Oh, it's just tremendous. Tremendous.
But most importantly, our country is respected again.
No, it's not, dude. Do you know how many people... Okay, maybe not the governments. Do you know how many people in these countries just mock and ridicule us? Really. I mean, I see it online for sure. But I mean, even in our own country, like, we're not even respected. We don't even respect ourselves in a lot of cases because of how shitty we've become. So, no, we're not being respected. I mean, behind the scenes, all these people are just mocking and ridiculing you. Maybe not in this room because they're all your loyalists. Maybe this kid is just getting his own little fame and doesn't give a fuck about what he's doing. But, I mean, for real, dude.
All over the world. We're not making apologies. We're not making excuses.
You're making excuses for not joining the summit with Kim. Making that stupid letter. You made excuses to pull out of the Iran deal, even though that was a good deal. You're making excuses on why the wall's being delayed too, by the way. That beautiful, great, tremendous wall that Mexico would pay for. Where the fuck? I don't even give a fuck about that wall because you're still gonna be able to get across that shit. You can still get across a wall. You can climb over it. You can dig a tunnel under it. You can go around the coastlines and take a boat. I mean, there's so many different ways to get over that fucking wall. If you got enough money, you could just take dynamite and blow up a hole in it. So, yeah, it's a ridiculous aspect, which is why I don't give a fuck about it. Build it. It's not going to prove anything. It's not going to prove anything. It's definitely not going to improve anything.
Respected again as a country.
I think that would be true if Bernie Sanders said it, but not you. But no, Hillary Clinton had to cheat him out of the primary, and then, yeah, and then we got a shit with a cherry on top with a shit. And people would rather just go for the shit because the cherry is also tainted with shit. So what's the point of having the cherry?
No more apologies.
I mean, I do agree with that. I mean, there's been so much apologizing going on. I mean, yeah, that's like the only thing I could agree with, this whole empty noisiness of bullshit. And look at them, all of them chant, USA, USA, you said nothing that actually gives examples of why we're getting better, but you made it sound like you were getting better, so USA. You want, I mean, oh my god. I mean, back to the, I mean, what even the fuck did he say that it was the only thing I even agreed with?
No more apologies.
Oh yeah, no more apologies. Yeah, I mean, that's like, and even then, it's just like, I don't give a fuck. But, yeah, like, we shouldn't be so apologetic. Like, so many people are apologizing over stupid shit over Twitter. People apologize for the slightest insult. It's like, shut the fuck up and grow a backbone. People are going to insult and mock people. People are going to be insensitive and politically incorrect or whatever the fuck you want to put in there. People are going to just be dicks and assholes. Get used to it, man. And that just goes for people on the left, the right, anybody. That just goes for anybody. Like, don't be so apologetic. Like, stand up for yourself a little bit and say, no, like, don't put fucking words in my mouth, or, you know, don't, you know, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So, even then, I still just don't give a shit, because it's just nonsensical nothing. But, yeah. Well, it's not nonsensical nothing. It's just a full-on nothing burger. Oh, God. I'm just gonna turn that down, because that's annoying. That's cringe. I'm gonna walk around and just soak it in and let people just drag it on for a long period of time, so I feel more relevant.
But to keep this momentum going, to continue this incredible progress, to keep on winning, you have to vote Republican in November. You see what's happening with the Democrats.
Yeah, okay. What is happening? Can you provide some examples? I mean, I already know kind of what's going on because I pay attention to that type of stuff. But I mean, can you provide some examples? Can you provide like some sources and citations to what can possibly be happening? Like the shutting out of progressives trying to run in close primary elections around the country, including Oregon, various other places. Even in open primaries, like in California and West Virginia, because Paula Jean Swearengin lost there in her primary, but now Allison Hartz is starting to get a major surge in California. So, I mean, there's a lot going on in the Democratic Party, so, I mean, the fuck does that even mean, dude? You're still saying nothing. You're still saying nothing, because I'm just speculating what you could even mean. And I've put out at least more examples in some form of substance more than your dribble-ish bullshit. So that's why I'm taking a little break between segments, because the other two are more like longer videos that I'm going to want to dissect, and this is just... But a lot of this is just going to irritate me, but we're going to go outside, and... Because it's looking nice out there. It looks nice.
Marsh's very liberal Democrat opponent, Phil Bredesen. I never heard of this guy. Who is
Phil Bredesen? Yeah, I don't hear... who is this guy? And just because you said his name and apparently he's a Democrat, everyone should just boo him and not vote for him. If you don't know who he is, then maybe you should shut the fuck up about who he is then, because you don't know who he is. So quit thinking of who the fuck he is. I don't know who he is, and I'm not forming an opinion because I don't know who he is. But now I have to defend his ass, not knowing who he is, because your dumbass wants to, you know, label him as some... you know, scary liberal or some shit when you might not be... I don't know who he is. I generally don't. You know, this is only the second time hearing him because, you know, second time watching this. So, I mean, who the fuck are you talking about, man? Who the fuck are you talking about?
Who is he?
Yeah, who is he? Tell us. Apparently, you know something.
He's an absolute, total tool of Chuck Trill.
Of Chuck Tro? What?
Chuck Schumer.
Chuck Schumer? Okay. How? Can you provide examples how? Because I still don't know who he is, even with that blatant statement, which I know is probably bullshit, to some extent.
He's a tool of Chuck Schumer and, of course, the MS-13 lover, Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi's a piece of shit. Chuck Schumer's a piece of shit. But they aren't fucking MS... You're breaking my brain. Like... Oh my god. They don't literally love it. No one loves MS-13 besides like MS-13 and maybe they're like gang allies or whatever the fuck. No one likes MS-13. No, just that... And this whole like conspiracy that the Democrats are funding or like aiding MS-13 is just such a joke. Like, shut the fuck up with that. That's just such a joke. And then this is the thing. Like, this fucking joke is our president right now. We have a joke. A literal walking joke. Boo! Nancy Pelosi, MS-13 lover, boo! Funds MS-13, boo! She's corrupt in so many different ways, but you're attacking her on the wrong reasons. Oh my god.
She loves MS-13, can you imagine? Remember?
No, because that never happened, but luckily that's the end of the clip. That hurts. Hurts, man, it hurts. And, you know, we might as well hear Kyle's analysis on it a little bit, just so we... his look right now, like, right when I paused it, it's like, alright, here we go, because this is, like, nuts, but, yeah. Here we go. So, this is going to be fun, hearing what he's got to say after all that. Oh, my God. Oh.
I mean, this guy, man, his brain really is poisoned by Fox News bullshit. This is the Fox News president through and through.
Yeah.
Of all the things to criticize about all the different Democrats, and there's a lot there, you're going to go with MS-13 lover? MS-13 lover. Now...
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, out of all the things you could pick, that's wrong with these fucking people. MS-13 lover. How about you go after the fact that they... Well, I guess you guys won't, but I mean, why don't you go after the fact they don't all support universal healthcare? Why don't you go after the fact that they're all just as corrupt as you fuckers are? But, nah, they're not going to go after that because they actually like that type of stuff. So they're only going to go after them on random social derivative issues and maybe immigration issues and shit like that because they got nothing else to go off of because they agree with everything else.
Oh, there's not a single part of you that thinks, hey, maybe this is like a really gross straw man here. I mean, come on, even if you're the biggest Trump fan in the world, when you hear that, your reaction has to be, you know, I think he's probably misstating the point he's making there. You have to understand that that is nothing but a smear. I despise Nancy Pelosi. I've gone after her
and I hate Nancy Pelosi and Chucky Boy, too. So, why are you making me have to defend these dumbasses because you're making a stupid straw man argument? Because I have to counter with an actual argument that's better than your dumbasses. Terrible.
Personally on this program. But one of my criticisms is not, oh, by the way, she's pro MS-13. Come on, again, even for the people who love Donald Trump, you have no problem with him just casually saying that, oh, they're MS-13 lovers. Nancy Pelosi loves MS-13. What a ridiculous misstatement of what she actually believes. Okay, now, that's one part of the discussion here. The other part of the discussion is, everything else he said, he was talking, but he wasn't saying anything. So let's go through it. He says, we're reasserting American strength and talent. Define that. What does that mean?
Define that, yeah, I've been saying that so much.
That's not really saying anything. You're just making noise. We're reasserting American strength. Does that mean what? We're bombing more countries? Well, that's true. We are. We were bombing 7 countries under Obama. Now we're bombing 8 countries under you. But that's strength, I guess. But it's strength in the way that a schoolyard bully shows strength because we're killing so many civilians. And also, I thought you were the guy who said on the campaign trail we should get out of these stupid wars and rebuild our own country. So now you're going to brag about the fact that you're doing the opposite? You're bragging about, you know, not fulfilling a campaign promise? What the fuck is that about? We're reasserting American strength. What does that mean, dude? And he says reasserting American talent, too. Again, I don't know what that means either. Like, I guess the argument would be, hey, we're lowering the unemployment rate, so we're reasserting American talent. But the unemployment rate came down massively under the Obama administration. Now, yes, it's continued to go down under you, but in my book, I don't really give Obama credit for the unemployment rate coming down or you credit for the unemployment rate going down, because by and large, those are all lower paying jobs. So many people are underemployed now.
Like me.
Since the Great Recession in 2008.
Yeah, like, come on. Just because the unemployment's going down doesn't mean that anything good is coming out of that shit. It's just that they're lower paying jobs and they're terrible wages when the wages should just be flat out the living wage of each state. So I think Oregon's is like $13.75 or something like that, and then like New York is like $22, something like that. I have no idea. And then like in Wyoming, it's more like $9 or something, like a $9.25 or something like that. So we should be accommodating the wages, living wages for every state according to its, the state. So, come on, like, what am I even talking about now? God damn it. I mean, it's just that, I mean, I'm talking about the wages and shit. Like, because, I mean, look how all these, like, I work a minimum wage job right now, and it sucks. It sucks. So, what, just because this unemployment rate's been going down, what does that even mean? Seriously. Because, to me, that just, I still see people suffering and still people struggling to make a living, even with that. So, whatever. Just some bullshit.
The way we're also in a bubble. So this idea of like we're reasserting American talent, again, I don't understand what that means. But that's sufficiently vague where if Donald Trump is in a room with people who already like him, that's, you know, the just mindless like seal clapping. Like, that's right.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he just kind of just delves into the rest of the shit we already talked about. So here's another nonsensical Trumpness. And, yeah, this is not Trump itself, but it's about all these MAGA hats. So, Gavin McClins says wearing a MAGA hat in public is like being gay in 1950. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
Here in New York City, wearing a MAGA hat is like being openly gay in 1950. And
Care to elaborate, bitch?
I'm not exaggerating. You will get
yeah, you are.
your ass beat. You will not last at a bar in Harlem. We try it all the time and get booted out. There's many bars that openly say you cannot be here. If you go into a bar wearing a MAGA hat, people...
And they're private entities. They can do whatever... They're private businesses. They can do whatever the fuck they want. In that sense. Like, if they don't want a particular... If you are, you know, pushing, like, some crazy idea on a private business or whatever, and the owners don't like it, they have a right to say, hey, if you're wearing these things because, you know, it's not what we like, then don't be here. It's like, so what, dude? Get over it. Your freedom to wear these hats hasn't been infringed or whatever the fuck. And most people in public are just going to realize who you are and just be like, fuck you, Trump, you know, Trump supporter, whatever the fuck. And guess what? If you're wearing that hat, you should just be expecting people to react to it. Because there's a big, bright red bolstering hat with Make America Great Again. And, you know, and I see those hats sometimes too when I'm walking around. And I look, I'm like, and I give a look like, ugh. And I'm just like, really, dude? Or I just like... You know, just laugh and shrug and just shake my head when I see it. Like, you know, expect reactions of just ridicule and mockery. And some people are not going to just want you around when you're wearing that shit. So, shut the fuck up, bro.
Start getting
Your
uncomfortable.
freedom to wear your hat is not infringed.
The bartender will ask you to leave politely, and people will yell at you on the street and spit on you. This is because you support the President of the United States.
Yeah, because he's a piece of shit, and we already went into that.
At one point I said on stage, you know, you're treating us like pedophiles. It's like that.
Okay, and now you're really, really being hyperbolic. If we were treating you like pedophiles, you would either be in prison or tied up to a tree, burnt.
Next guy's going to come out talking about how sexy babies are and argue.
Okay, what?
For fishnets that are this tall and split crotch panties that are this big and little tassels for babies. And then, by the way, people interpret that as me saying Milo is a pedophile because he was coming out next. I hate having to say just kidding. Don't you?
Well, I hope you're kidding. What the fuck? What does that even mean? Oh my god. What the fuck? That was just nonsense. And we got more nonsense. Just even more insane derivative nonsense. And now we're getting religious. Yay, religion. But don't worry, it's one of these prosperity pastor fucktards who are just scammers. So, televangelist claims he needs $54 million for a private jet to spread the gospel. Oh, I need a good old 54 million for a private jet. And I needed to spread the gospel, hallelujah. That's my very old pastor impersonation. Where can I fiddle the kids? I don't know what I look like, but I'm sure I'm cringy as fuck. So, Louisiana televangelist is convinced that God wants him to own a fourth, by the way, private jet. And he's calling on others to donate towards that lofty goal. Jesse Duplantis, so I'm sure some people know this faggot's name, asked listeners to pray about becoming a partner in his grand dream to own a Dassault Falcon 7X, a luxury plane that's reported to be worth at least $54 million. Duplantis claimed that he needed a private plane to seeing up to 19 and an optional onboard shower to efficiently spread the gospel. You need an optional shower? So what, you can like wash the demons off you? Fucking freak. I really believe that if Jesus was physically on earth today, he wouldn't be riding on a donkey because the donkey would be riding him. He didn't say that, but I wish he did. Think about it. Think about it for a minute. He'd be using airplanes, preaching the gospel all over the world. Yeah, and if he was, it'd probably be a commercial plane or by boats or by train and probably walking around too. Or maybe driving and carpooling or doing bus fare or some shit. He wouldn't be doing some private jet elitist bullshit. So, yeah, let's just watch this video because this is insane, dude. Where's the sound? I need sound for this. Ah, man, prosperity preachers are just so cringy and awful. I hate prosperity preachers. Like, out of all these preachers and pastors who scam people out the most, prosperity preachers do it the worst. And I fucking hate them for it. Like, they do it on, like, criminal scale. Like, this has to be fucking criminal somehow, dude. Like, to just scam people out of their money just so you can get a private jet and claiming you need to spread gospel and you're just fueling your own greed, that has to be fucking criminal somehow, dude. That has to be criminal. Like, this guy should be fucking prison. Now, being serious with that, too. Like, this guy is an utter piece of shit. Can we play now?
Hello, everybody. Next week on This Week with Jesse, we're going to be talking about these 3 airplanes that we have owned and preaching the gospel with. They're still in full-time ministry. So don't miss next week because we're going to talk about the new one called the Falcon 7X. See you then. Bye-bye.
Okay, it wasn't the exact video I was hoping for, but that was terrible nonetheless. Oh, now we got more videos. Here we go.
It's impossible. So and this was such a good illustration. I just don't impress me. That's why we're on that airplane. We can talk to God.
Glory to God.
It's when I was flying for Oral Roberts, the brother Deweese, my boss on the airplane, he said, "Now Kenneth, this is sanctuary. It protects the anointing on Brother Roberts." And he said, "You keep your mouth shut. Don't talk to him unless he talks. Because when he's on a meeting, he doesn't talk to anybody but God." Now, Oral used to fly airlines.
Right.
But even back then, man, it got to the place where it was agitating his spirit.
Sure.
People coming up to him. He had become famous, and they wanted him to pray for him and all that. You can't manage that today.
Right.
This dope-filled world.
Right.
You get in a long tube with a bunch of demons.
Right.
With a bunch of demons. So you're basically just calling everyday people demons and dope-filled. So you're just a really big piece of old groggly elitist smug shit. Ugh. These are really generally the worst. Like, and their literal existence contradicts the Bible. Their literal fucking existence. Like, have you even at least read the parts where Jesus is, like, looking down at the people who, like, fasting or whatever the fuck they were doing, you know, just wearing, like, rags around them, around their waists, just saying, "Look at me, I'm fasting, I'm doing this for the Lord," or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Jesus is like, "No, you're not worthy because, you know, you've already had, like, your riches here," or whatever, some shit. you know, you're doing that. You are literally doing that. And if Jesus ever did happen to just, like, be here or whatever, he would look down at you in scorn and think you're an utter piece of garbage. Because you are. And what the fuck is he wearing? Like, what is this shirt that he's wearing while he's doing, like, some growly, like, wolf attack or some shit? On, like, demons. Like, a bunch of demons.
On tube with a bunch of demons.
Right.
Demons,
Exactly. And it's deadly.
It's deadly. Yeah, I'm sure if you flew commercial with just a bunch of people, yeah, I'm sure that's going to be deadly for you. You're probably going to have a heart attack because you can't handle talking with some average person who's probably visiting the city or returning back home because you're going there or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm sure that's totally scary. That'll probably give you a damn heart attack, and I wish it did.
And it works on your heart. It really does.
It works on your heart. It really does. Oh, the strength to talk to another person, I just can't bear that. Oh, it's just so hard. Oh, I need to pay the Lord on my private jet to see what I can do. Oh. Scumfucks. Just scumfucks.
So anyway, I wanted to make that clear so the devil can't lie to you and say, see that?
What?
Them preachers spending all that money just fat cats riding around. No, we're not.
Yeah, you are fat cats.
In business to do. Listen.
So you're basically saying to average people who are going to normally think, oh my god, look at these elitist smug bastards, and maybe people who are skeptical of your ministries are like, whoa, this doesn't look right. Oh, now you're basically calling the fact that, oh, maybe their skepticism is the devil, it's Satan. No, it's not, man. No, it's not. It's just utter garbage. Utter garbage. What is going on? Just fuck that. Fuck your nonsensical bullshit. Because, I mean, how do these people fucking walk at night, man? Being so smug, and they think they got it right. They think they have it all right. When you bastards start donating to charity and going to, like, Uganda yourselves and, like, are building apartments for everyone to live in, maybe I'll change my opinion, but you're not, so fuck you.
I could scratch my flying itch with my little single-engine, open cockpit airplane. Right. I just come home and fly around in that and scratch my flying itch. That doesn't have nothing to do with that. But right. we're in soul business here. Right. We got a dying world around us. We got a...
You're saying that the dying world is all devilish and doped up and stuff, so why do you even want to help it? What's this fucking bar of fruit? Like, they just have... They're not even eating it. It's just fruit. It's just fruit on a table. It's like, what are you even doing? What are you doing with yourselves? Ugh. I'm done with you. I'm done with you fuckers. I'm done. I'm done with you all. Get out of my fucking presence. Alright, I definitely need to, not take a break yet. I mean, my break would just be outside with you guys later or whatever. But, I mean... Oh my god. That's an actual clip. It's on Italy again, because last time I didn't really understand too much of what was going on, so maybe this video will help a little bit more explaining on that situation. A little speed up.
In Italy right now, and don't worry, I'm going to talk about Roseanne Barr losing it on me on Twitter, but that's coming a little later in the show. Some international news I want to start with today. What's happening in Italy is having repercussions not only in all of Europe, but also in the United States. And if you've not been following what's taken place in Italy, Italy's bigger party, the Five Star Movement, as well as the very extreme far-right League Party, won more than half of the votes in the parliamentary elections that were held a couple months ago in March. And together, they selected Paolo Savona to become the economic minister. Hugely anti-Euro guy, even though being against the Euro wasn't made a major part of either of those parties' campaigns. And the far-right party coalition, all of a sudden having this position of significant power within Italy, has thrown the broader government into crisis. So what then happened is that Italian President Sergio Mattarella blocked the formation of the government, straight up vetoed it, and has asked for a temporary government to be formed. But both the Five Star Movement and League Party objected to the choice made by Mattarella, not surprisingly. And this is the equivalent of a sort of constitutional crisis that's taking place in Italy right now. The euro crashed on the news. Stocks yesterday in the US falling significantly, major market decline happening here, and the increased fears of political uncertainty could go so far as even in the United States to upend the Federal Reserve's plan for continued rate increases, which we won't go into detail about today, but I have spoken quite a bit about what those rate increases sort of mean, signifying what the consequences of those rate increases can be. And what's taking place in Europe generally is often very easy for us to ignore here in the United States, sort of out of sight, out of mind. But it is of massive proportions. Not only are we seeing the rise of these far-right parties in many European countries, which at its face is very concerning because these are really, really vile movements, it's also a big sort of economic uncertainty because if any of the strong anti-EU and sort of anti-Euro views become empowered.
So it sounds like it's like a couple months ago, there were some elections, and a lot of the far right essentially won a lot of the elections in Italy, it sounds like. And from there, it looks like they tried to push for different like government formation, and then that got vetoed, of course, here. And now there's meant to be a replacement government, temporary government to be there until there was until like this issue gets resolved. And it's been like some democratic crisis and constitutional crisis, which sounds very much so like that. So sounds crazy though. Sounds really crazy. Like, and I still can't really wrap my head around that.
In a significant way within the European context, that is going to have a significant impact. And if indeed these new elections happen in Italy in July, it will in a way be a referendum on the euro itself, and that's really not good for financial stability. And there are numerous critiques to be made of the European Union. There are absolutely concerns about the euro as a currency, but the broader sort of turbulent circumstances that will be precipitated by this should be something that we're all worried about. And there are concerns in many countries, right? If you look at Germany, Angela Merkel, the chancellor, has to form a government after seeing a significant far-right surge during her last election. In Spain, there might be a no-confidence vote as early as this week, and maybe new elections there. And I've been in touch with the parts of my family that live in Spain, and it is incredibly tumultuous there as well. And the most interesting aspect of this, in relation to the United States, isn't just that it's causing our stock markets to be turbulent, right? We know how the stock market only affects disproportionately the rich, although there's lots of people that hold some amount of stocks. But for me, the most interesting element here is that the same right-wing sort of version of populism, maybe it's a perversion of populism or a version of populism, that Donald Trump capitalized on, is similar to what's happening in many European countries. It's an often less sort of ignorant version of right-wing populism, slightly less ignorant, I don't want to overstate that, but it's the populist-sounding authoritarian nationalism that is underlying both America first and our currency first, right? Not the euro mentality that we're seeing in some enclaves in Europe. It's the same immigrants out mentality under Trump in the United States to the immigrants out mentality in Europe, although very often the European far-right contingents are able to couch it in a seemingly sort of more eloquent sounding way. But many of the same themes are the backbone here. I don't know ultimately what is going to happen in Europe, but of course we're going to be following it very, very closely. There is just...
Well, yeah, all right. Well, next two things are my longer extended videos, so I'll just back off from that just at the moment. Well, might as well go outside for a little bit. It's probably like dark as fuck now, but I don't care. But first, I need to get some more. And you know what? I'm not gonna wear those. Oh, I put those in there. Whatever. Alright, well, let's see here. While this charges for a little bit, or at least just kind of keeps going temporarily, Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna find a little, at least something that will be of a neat little thing to listen to while I'm gone. But let's see here. There has to be something for us to just get ourselves interested in as we go along. Whatever, I'm not finding anything. Okay, oh. Here we go. We'll just play an audio of a random Family Guy skit. How about that? Enjoy audio of Family Guy skit. Maybe not that loud.
What's up, my sisters? Ooh, I ain't sat down in
Have fun.
a minute. What the hell? Why are you talking like that? Sorry, I have family in town. You guys, I'm freaking out. The SATs are this weekend, and there's no way I'm gonna get a good score. You know, Meg, maybe you should get someone super smart to take it for you. Have someone take it from me? But that's cheating. No one cares about cheating anymore, Meg. Not since Slick Willie Clinton lowered the nation's moral standards. God, give it up, Patty. I'm just saying. Find someone really smart to take the SAT for you in exchange for money.
Did someone say Jewish?
Oh, hey, Neil. Listen, is there any chance you'd be willing to take the SAT for me this weekend?
Sorry, Meg, I'm swamped. I'm taking my body into the shop.
I don't know what you've been doing to this thing, Neil. When you see this gunk, that ain't supposed to be there.
Well, just do whatever you can.
All right, I'm gonna go eat a sandwich with one hand and fill out the invoice with the other.
Don't worry, Meg. There's gotta be someone else who'd be willing to take that test for you. Like who? You guys are my only friends, and everyone in my family is a moron. What about your hot mom, Meg? What? I said, how about your dog? He's smart. That doesn't sound like what you said.
That was quick.
Yeah, Brian is kind of smart. Maybe I'll get him to take it for me. You're not so hot.
What was so fucking hot? I don't even know.
We now return to another Michael Jordan underwear commercial on a plane for some reason.
It rained earlier today and I didn't even realize, and it smells really good outside.
Mr. Jordan, you're gonna have to take
Part of the reason why I want to go outside.
Without their underwear.
Oh, hey, Brian. I was just thinking about you.
Taking this fucking Pop-Tart.
Taking
this Pop-Tart.
Okay, what's this? She's peanut buttering you up for something. No, I didn't even know you read my notes.
Oh, and somehow... Alright, we can pause this now that I'm back. Like, somehow I broke this fucking, like, Zippo torch somehow. I can't close it anymore. I don't know what the fuck happened. I was closing it one time and it just didn't close, and it's just been like that since, so I don't know what the fuck that's been going on. But that makes me sad, because I need to get that repaired somehow if I can. Or just go to Arizona again and, just, like, get that torch again. I mean, I know where it is. I guess I need to set this shit out first, because my hands are full, so I'll be back again. Multitasking and multiple trips. Bitch.
Anyway, I was just rereading my favorite passage. The weight of the gun in Jason's hand surprised him. How heavy he wondered is the human soul.
That's page 1. She's quoting page 1.
Your book is genius, Brian. I can't believe Amazon is dumping it for 99 cents.
What? My book is on Amazon? Oh, yeah, Brian. There's something for everyone on Amazon.
In fact, you're so smart. I thought you'd be the perfect person to maybe take the SAT for me.
What? That would be...
Okay. Let's go. Onwards and... Hold on, we should probably get a beanie because it is actually relatively kind of cold out there. It's actually got a nice little chill going on today. Or tonight now, I suppose. Where the fuck did my beanie go? Here's my beanie. Well, it's my other beanie, but I don't care. Get this bitch on. Putting on a beanie in a very stupid way. Get on, bitch. Damn it. There we go. There we go. I somehow was upside down. Whatever. Whatever. Gonna flip this little bitch around. Give a nice little view of those little, flowers or some shit, whatever the fuck. There we go. No, don't stop streaming. What are you doing? Oh, shit. I was hoping maybe I can do a nice little zoom-in effect, but I have to flip this around, bitch. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. There we go. I'll just talk with that being right there. So that works. Alright. Fuck. Ooh, this is definitely chilly out here, that's for sure. Ugh. But I like it. I like it. It's nice that it actually did rain a little bit. I mean, it's been not dry, but it's been like relatively hot and warm, so it's nice that we got a little bit of a cool going on. Got a little bit of cool weather coming in. Get that shit out of the way. But burr. Definitely a little colder than I expected, but whatever. Whatever. Yeah, so on TV, there's like, I think Mysteries at the Museum or some shit that's playing. Oh fuck, it's still going. There we go. So, like, basically, there's, I don't know what they were getting into because I was only watching for like 30 seconds, but they were talking about this dude who was like supported eugenics or some shit, and I was just like, whoa. I was like, holy shit, dude, what the fuck. So for those of you who might not know, eugenics is like the philosophy and the idea that to make the human race better, you need to selectively breed humans and genetically alter them by selective and choice breeding, basically, instead of just whatever the fuck, you know? And I'm just like, whoa. I mean, whoops. But, like, that very idea alone is just, you know, I don't get the whole idea of eugenics, because that just seems like you're destined to make it worse for the species, because how can you essentially genetically modify humans to be better when the only way to really do that is just to let us like integrate more as a species instead of isolating ourselves as a more homogenous essentially, you know what I mean? So it was pretty interesting though. Pretty interesting shit, but I definitely still don't agree with what eugenics is, because I mean it's just because I think it's not, I wouldn't say like a pure fallacy or nothing like that, but definitely really weak, I think. No. But yeah, it's pretty I don't know all what they were getting into, but it could have been, I don't know, probably about like, I don't know what they would have been talking about. So I don't really know much outside the realm of what like the Nazis believed for sure, because they were trying to do eugenics to, you know, rid the human race of the Jewish question or whatever the fuck. It's just like, which, you know, maybe if the background of what eugenics wasn't so altered and so disdained by the what, you know, the Nazis were doing with their idea of eugenics, maybe I probably would have a slightly different opinion on it. But I mean, when you eventually, like, I mean, for example, like, look at Iceland, for example, like how small, and like the Faroe Islands too, like how small and secluded they are. Not to say that they are like genetically inferior or nothing like that. I mean, it's just where they've lived. But I mean, they have even taken steps to. I know in Iceland they've taken steps to, like, if there's a fetus that has Down syndrome, this considered a threat and should just be aborted because of how small Iceland is. I mean, if I were Icelandic, and I mean, I can kind of see the idea of what eugenics could be in a sense where you need to weed out the weak genes of, for example, Down syndrome and the like, to lessen the chance of that gene resurfacing within your population. But I don't know. I still don't think you should, like, abort someone just simply because they have Down syndrome. I still think that's the woman's choice in that matter. Like, because that's what my opinion on abortion has always been about. It's just like, it's the woman's choice, let them do what they wish. You know what I mean? So, why does it always want me to stop streaming? I'm not going to. Fuck off, mate. But, yeah. Well, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. Give me some decreased zoom. There we go. Not that much. Not that much. Okay, maybe that much. I don't give a shit. Fuck you, mate. Anything pop up? Nope, not yet. Not yet, but that's fine. But, yeah. I mean, eugenics is just definitely very, yeah, I don't know. Like, I've been hearing a lot of that idea come back up, and it's just, you know, I just never know. Oh boy, what to do? Just coming off from like a little I'm just doing like a little intermission. I just got done going through some stuff that really drained me. So now I'm just outside taking a little break, enjoying the nice air that is been given upon me with a recent rainfall. But it's not raining anymore, so it's definitely chilly though. It's definitely pretty chilly. Probably gonna eat a Pop-Tart out here. What'd you just say? I'll read it in a sec. I'm late, yeah, just a little bit, but that's fine. It's pouring here now, damn. Yeah, it seems like it didn't rain that hard out here because it's only a little damp, but I'm not getting soaked out here or nothing. I'm just sitting on my porch right next to my phone. Ain't nothing's been happening. I don't feel the moisture. I don't got none of that moisturizer going on. I don't got moist booty syndrome. Don't need none of that wet ass syndrome, you know what I'm saying? It sucks. I hate that. That was my day. It was going pretty good so far. I just kind of had like a little lazy day today. Cleaned up my room a lot. Yeah. There wasn't really too much news going on today. I mean, it was just mostly bullshit on, like, Samantha Bee or some shit calling out Ivanka on her damn stupid photo of her kid. And, which is just honestly like a major non-story in a lot of senses. It's just like, who gives a shit? Yep, gotta clean up Ignorland. Because Jordan Peterson told me to. You gotta clean up your room. Because that is the antidote to chaos. I'm Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson. He's been pretty big the last couple months. It's kind of weird. He's kind of like has a lot of Christian apologetics. I mean, also he's just overall really weird. But it's probably better if he just search him yourself, because I think I would do a horrible explanation of trying to explain what he is. I mean, at first I thought he was kind of an interesting, peculiar character, but after a while, he just really was kind of giving me, like, really creepy, weird vibes. And I was just like, nah, dude, I just don't like that. Like, people will, like, call him, like, the father I never had, and, like, they still idolize him as, like, some father, daddy figure. It's like, dude. It's like, whoa. Some people just take their loyalism way too seriously. Watch 3 videos on Nostradamus say on his 2018 predictions. Huh. You know, that's probably something I could have done, but I didn't even think about that while I was setting up. I kind of thought I'd do this in like a little twofer. Like do a little bit of analysis on like 2 longer videos and just do like a burst of like ridiculous news videos or something. While we just chill outside for a little bit. Take a nice little view of these blooming flowers here. YouTube got a lot on him. Oh, I'm sure, man. I mean, I looked up George Carlin earlier today, and there was just so much on him too. I mean, if you like go back and look up a lot of these figures, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, because one of the cool positives about YouTube is if you want to look somebody up, there's guaranteed chance there might be a lot of videos on him. At least like maybe 100 videos at the least, at like the minimal. Leadist? What? But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's probably thousands upon thousands of videos on Nostradamus alone. And think about like other major philosophers too in the world. Whoa. I'm like seeing grass like move naturally on its own, and it was kind of weird, but cool. I just happened to look at grass, and it was just like moving around, like getting another leaf of a different head of grass off of it. It's like, get the fuck off me! I don't want your damn leaf of grass irritating my growth. But you guys, oh shit! But you gotta fuck. What did I say? But you gotta sort that shit out. You know, what's real and what's interpreted. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Because everyone does have their view on these particular characters and stuff like Nostradamus. So, while there may be thousands upon thousands of videos, there's also going to be a lot of bias in some of these videos on one way or the other. Or, you know, just its own weird bias on the view of who these people are. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me for sure. Which is why I just kind of have to watch them and just... Oh shit, hiccups. But, you know, that's why I just kind of have to watch them and just kind of figure them out. See what comes out of them. If it ends up being bullshit, well, you know, you found out it's bullshit and you just gotta move on next. Leave a comment why, see what people get triggered and getting annoyed at your comment. It's always a fun thing. I'm getting a little low battery here, so I'm probably going to just take one more hit, switch back in, and finish up before this happens. Motherfuck. Alright. Switch that zoom off. Zoom off. There we go. I was fucked up and I was using an electric saw on some bushes around the house, and all of a sudden I noticed I went through a wire. Oh shit. Luckily it was only cable from second floor. Damn. Damn. That's crazy. Just fucked up your wire. Alright, I'm gonna get my phone in there first before I collect the rest of my stuff. I was looking for my OJ. My OJ just happened to be right here. Okay. shit, piece of Pop-Tart fell. Okay. Dropped a bit of a Pop-Tart. One cable connection is bow too. Damn. Alright. Guess we'll go back to the Family Guy skit while I grab the rest of my shit. And hope my charger saves the stream. Oh, now I gotta reset this fucking thing. Gotta flip it. Gotta do some flips. And some dips. And some skiddity bips. Alright. Bear back.
Well, I suppose you may look at it that way. But a wise book once said, with the heart at stake, right and wrong is a stake through the heart.
That one's on the cover. Wow. Ensnared by my own verbal trap. Well played, me through you. All right, Meg, I'll take that test for you. I guess what I'm saying is, Ace Pilotson reporting for World War Love.
What?
You didn't read the book, Bride. That's your main character. Don't worry, Meg. I'm always here to help. Like a 1960s British policeman.
Officer, me child's been kidnapped!
Calm down, ma'am. It's all under control. I've got a whistle, a cloth helmet, a key to a coal box, a soft rubber truncheon, and a map of the city.
Please, hurry!
I don't much like your tone. That's a tiny pencil and pad citation for you.
Okay, Brian, you can do this. Hey, Meg.
Hi, Meg.
Hey, how's it going? My locker.
Meg, I thought we were going to try to work on that.
Okay.
Hey, other teams. How about our youth culture, am I right? All the new hairs we're getting? Hey, hashtag SATs, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
This worked. I was afraid I'd stick out. Like the one guy in Lincoln's cabinet who didn't have a beard.
I want to win this war, and I want to do it fast. Ideas?
We should meet the rebels head-on in Virginia. Yes, and use our ship to block their supply chain.
Alright, back to set. Cool. So I think the first one we'll go is on this debate that Joe Rogan had with one of his guests, Candace Owens, I guess. So it's all the climate change.
Walkers at the point.
But I don't understand how you think that we're almost losing America. There's a battle for America.
I really feel that, like, just in every regard, in terms of just the people that were running, like Hillary Clinton, like this woman was a globalist. Like, just think about who we were in bed with, like Saudi Arabia, selling all of our uranium to Russia. Like Trump came in and was like, no, like America, we were the gap, like we we're losing the middle class. The gap between the rich and the poor was like literally.
What do you think's causing that?
Policies, shipping all of our jobs overseas, the regulation, the government getting bigger. You can't do anything as an entrepreneur in America without a piece of paper from the government, discouraging people with a piece of paper, like shutting down the factories from.
Sure. Okay. So she's not saying anything unreasonable. It's very understandable where she's coming from so far.
Getting that there's something, there's a little land between New York and LA, believe it or not. Like, this is what Trump understood. We were losing that. And Trump appealed to those people. I'm still floored. Like, as I'm traveling the world and seeing different pieces of the country, I'm learning how ignorant I was. Like, and that's the best thing in the entire world.
Way?
Just, I fell victim to the idea that, like, it was progress. We have to care about the environment. It was progress. And it's like, no, like, we've been losing. America has been losing. And Donald Trump understood that in a way that I didn't. And I thought...
think we have to care about the environment? Like,
not even a little bit. Like,
not even a little bit?
No. Okay, let me clarify this. I don't throw trash on the ground. Like, okay. I'm not saying, like, we need to, like, trash the environment. Like, but do I believe in climate change? No.
You don't believe in climate change?
No, I think the climate always changes, I guess is what I should say. Do I believe that this is like, an issue that is being, that's global warming, which they've changed conveniently, got rid of the word one time.
So, should I clarify climate change for you? Because when people say climate change, they're not meaning, oh, the climate is changing. Oh, no, that's not good. Climate, yes, is always changing. That's just how this Earth works. But when people are talking about climate change, it is the human impact of it. And I guess you don't believe that we're having a major impact considering how much CO2 we permit out in the world and how much trash is actually, polluting our world and how bad the Earth's air is around, especially in the heavily urbanized regions. I mean, do I need to go on?
To start
So this is kind of going to be an interesting one. See where she comes from.
Doing it now, they only say climate change. No, I think that was just a way to extract dollars from Americans. I don't at all believe they had no actionable plan. It was great for Trump to get out of that deal. It's terrible.
Okay, but this is an incredibly complicated subject.
The retract from the deal, I'm assuming she's probably meaning the Paris Climate Accords, and we're literally the only ones now who are not signed in onto the Paris Climate Accords. We are the only ones out of all the countries in this world that are not on the Paris Climate Accords. We're an outlier on that. We're not being brave or intelligent when we do that.
Subject.
Right.
And you would have to talk to a bunch of different scientists and see how they gather data and see what they understand about CO2 levels and what's the danger of them and what can combat it, what could not. Have you done all this, or do you take this flippant opinion based on the party line?